We're Charlie and Leanne, a couple from California who left our cushy suburban life to spend the next several years cruising around the Pacific Ocean on our boat, Juliet. And our little dog, too. In our last episode, we continued our month cruising around the Sea of Cortez. In San Evaristo, we bought more fish, made more cruising friends, had a boat party, and then we headed to Los Gatos, where we ambled around the gorgeous red rocks and did some amazing snorkeling. In this episode, we leave Los Gatos at sunrise and head to Agua Verde, where we discover another charming beach palapa and hang out some more with our new cruising friends. We experience some unpredicted bad weather and then visit a goat dairy where we see how the farmer makes his goat cheese, and then we buy some. I always catch myself when I just woke up and my eyes are all puffy, but anyway, we're about to leave Los Gatos. We got up early, so I'm just catching the sunrise. It's coming up right behind the islands. I knew the sunrise here would be spectacular because of all these red rocks. Now that the sun is completely up, I can't believe the color of these rocks. We're pulling out of Los Gatos now on our way to Agua Verde. Should only take us a couple hours to get there. I think it's just a 19-mile passage. The seas are flat, flat, flat. The sun is shining, and it's gonna be a spectacular day, except we probably won't have any wind, so we'll have to motor. But that's okay. On a day like this, short passage, that's fine.
So what are you doing?
Laundry. This is how you do laundry when you live on the Huck, when you're not around any place to do laundry. You do your own in the cockpit.
Is Bubba helping?
Fun.
Is Bubba helping?
Oh yeah, he's a great help. Are you helping me, Bubba?
Maybe you should throw Bubba in there.
Yeah, he needs a good wash. He got in the ocean yesterday. Probably smells like fish. He smells like a dog. We're approaching Agua Verde. That's Tranquila ahead of us. We're gonna drop anchor in the middle anchorage, kind of towards the south near the village. There's a rock there, pyramid rock, that's supposed to have great snorkeling. The sun is up high today, so I could get some really good snorkeling in today, so we'll see. Beautiful Bahia Agua Verde, another tiny fishing village, is a super popular stop for cruisers in the Sea of Cortez, known for its friendly locals, great snorkeling, and excellent hiking along goat trails with the dramatic backdrop of the Sierra de la Giganta range. It's quite a bit smaller than San Evaristo, with fewer services to offer, but it has its own unique charms. It also has what turned out to be a fantastic beach palapa, run by the friendliest family. The fish tacos were fantastic, and they have the best homemade beans around. We got to spend more time with our buddy boating friends, and even met some of the kayakers who camp along these shores. Agua Verde is a place where you don't find too many people who aren't boaters or kayakers, given that the only way to drive here involves nearly 30 miles of rough, rocky dirt road. And once again, Bubba found some new friends too.
They have a well, a stream
that comes from the
that comes down this mountain,
fresh
and
water.
they put it into a tube and they bring it to this village, and everybody's got fresh spring water.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is my favorite spot. Better than San Evaristo. So far, this is my favorite. I'll have to get all my pictures from you because I've given up on not taking another picture, I said. I'm done. I hate my cast. There he is. There we are, baseball.
Well, the next one has a big lottery.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Where is it? Come on, Baba.
There is one tiny tienda here with not much in it, but if you are in need of some basic staples, you can probably find them here.
Okay, Bubba.
And there's the school, the green building.
Oh! We'd heard that there was a goat dairy here, but little did we know that the goats get herded daily right along the beach. I gotta get this on video. Here's something you don't see every day. Goats getting herded along the beach.
So we had some unpredicted weather. Since late last night, it's been blowing pretty heavily, 20 knots, gusts to 30 knots. It's also been raining pretty much nonstop since yesterday late afternoon. Not a heavy rain, it's kind of light, but pretty consistent with it coming down, stronger at times. Right now it's blowing again pretty heavy, gusting up to, well, right now it's 17 knots sustained with gusts in the 20s. And none of this was predicted. The GFS and European models all showed, between 1 and 5 knots. And here it is, we're seeing, 19 knots sustained with gusts in the high 20s or low 30s. So very much unexpected. We're going to sit it out for a while. We might, if it does calm down, we might pull up the anchor and head to Puerto Escondido, where we'll have more things to do if it continues to rain. And it is supposed to continue raining today and then ease up Monday and Tuesday, and then pick up again Wednesday and Thursday with more rain. So we'd probably rather be in Puerto Escondido than here. There's not much to do when it's raining, since you can't be snorkeling or diving, which this area is most known for.
Yep, as Charlie just said, this was not expected. This was not forecast. We've got some serious rain and winds going on, completely unseasonal. And this is just not a good place to hang out in the rain and wind. I mean, there's not much here. So we were expecting to be hiking up to the cave paintings, visiting the goat dairy and buying some fresh goat cheese, bargaining for fish on the beach, and snorkeling, and instead we're just sitting here hunkered down on the boat waiting out the storm. We're hoping that the current forecasts are correct, which show that it should be lightening up by end of day today. We may pull anchor and head up to Puerto Escondido today, probably more likely tomorrow when the winds should be laying down and hopefully it will not be raining. But it's just going to be nicer up at Puerto Escondido, where we can get a mooring ball and where we can, there's sidewalks ashore. Oh, and there's internet. So hopefully we'll be able to upload a video. But anyway, this is what's going on for us now. By the next day, the weather had cleared up enough that we decided to stay after all. So we headed to the goat dairy, which is pretty easy to find. You land your dinghy on the beach, walk north, and then turn right when you start to see goats. The first goats we saw were just kind of wandering around some fishing pangas, but we kept walking and saw this. The only other time I've seen goats climbing trees was the famous tree climbing goats in Morocco. But here, the goats climb trees.
So this guy was here when I came here 50 years ago.
Wow. Stephen from Tranquilla visited this town 50 years ago and met the dairy owner back then. He's been doing this his whole life. He invited us in to show us his rustic cheese-making operation.
El menos salado, ¿cuál es?
El menos salado ahorita no tenemos.
Oh.
Tenemos queso feriano.
Ah,
Que
bien.
te voy a dar ahorita.
Ay, aquí está el salado de
Sí,
leche.
la leche.
En la leche.
Acaba de partir ahorita, está cuajada.
Oh, lo acabas de...
Sí, la acabo.
Ajá. Y luego lo pones
Lo
aquí.
ponemos ahí.
Para que...
Casi.
Para que
¿Y qué echas?
sal.
Sal nomás.
Sal nomás.
Sal nomás. So they put salt in it. This is fresh milk, goat milk.
No, este lleva un líquido. Cuaco.
Oh, cuaco.
Para comer.
Guacamole.
So they let the milk curdle.
That guacamole, I don't know what guacamole is, but they put it in.
Oh, cuajo is rennet.
Oh, okay.
Cuajo is, I know that because I make cheese. Cuajo is the Spanish word for rennet. So I just bought this block of fresh-made goat cheese from
Is that
the
the one?
family right behind. They let us into their home. They make it. They've been here how long?
73 years.
73 years they've been here, and it's just all these goats that you're seeing here. They make it right here, and so I bought a big old block of it.
Is Baba getting along with the local dogs?
Here I am making naan bread. That's something that I just learned to do. This is my second time making it. I'm learning as I go along. There's a couple things I should have done differently this time, but they came out pretty good. See? Here's my batch of naan bread. So you can do some pretty elaborate things cooking in a tiny gallon. Dinner that night was pretty fabulous. Hummus with my homemade naan bread and sliced fresh goat cheese. Yum! Well, we're getting ready to leave. We had wanted to spend a little more time here in Agua Verde. It's a really beautiful little town, and we had a great time yesterday going to see the goats and, you know, doing a little hiking around and eating at the little palapa. But the weather is going to turn again. It's hard to know whether to trust the weather reports now, considering what just happened. But they are saying that the rain is going to return in another day or two, and then on Thursday it's going to be really strong with strong winds, and we need to be in a very protected hole. So we are going to pull up anchor and head up to Puerto Escondido, which is a very, very protected harbor. It's actually considered a hurricane hole, so it will be a good place for us. But I'm sad to have to say goodbye to this place. I'm hoping that we can come and stop here on the way down so I can do a little more hiking, maybe get up and see the cave paintings that we read about, see the goats again. By the way, that goat cheese was phenomenal. It doesn't taste like goat cheese that you buy in the grocery store. It tasted almost like a feta, but not as strong, maybe a little salty. A very unique flavor. I really liked it. I put it on my eggs this morning. Anyway, this is our goodbye to Agua Verde. We got beautiful mists up in the hills. So off we go to the next port. That big rock behind me is named Solitaria. It marks the entrance to Bahia Agua Verde, which is where we're leaving right now. I was really hoping to get out and snorkel there because I read that the snorkeling is just fantastic, but the weather just never did clear up. But in the meantime, it's a pretty impressive sight as we sail out past it. In our next episode, we grab a mooring ball in Puerto Escondido and see even more dramatic scenery. We enjoy the modern conveniences and restaurants at the marina, and then it's time for a road trip. Off we go to see the remote mountain village of Mission San Javier and the beautiful seaside city of Laredo. And then we do yoga. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate all of your likes, comments, and feedback. Please keep coming back.